Alright, I am live. And now go on live message. And then surely this time we will finish case 2. I don't know if we'll start case 3. See how long this takes yet. Assuming I can actually finish case 2 today. It feels like we're close. But I think we still need, like, one more link. Or another round of evidence gathering. Okay, there we go. Oh, hey there, Tavia. Hello. That. Okay. So. Let's see, where exactly were we? We're about to do the second trial. There's all that stuff with the evidence from the lockers, and I'm pretty sure that suit of armor in the locker room is going to be key to the case, but we can't use it yet. So yeah, I feel like there's got to be another round of investigations. The prosecution has to bring something to the table in order to keep prosecuting, because last time we pretty much brought things to a standstill. There was no real evidence against Wallace. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think they really mentioned what they were going to bring to the table. I have no idea what's going to happen now. All right. We take a drink. Was a little flummy. All right. What? I know. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen all the pieces there myself. Wait. Yeah, we just start off like that. What? Okay. That makes so much sense. The Steel Ones have always seen the necromancers as a threat to their power. Oh, they're talking about the book. That one book series that Tyrion likes. Yeah, he spent like all night poring over the history of the author who wrote it. Found out that he was a Steel Wind. Guys? But to think that Bloomfield was originally a part of their family. I know, right? It's cruelly insane when you think about it. Guys, focus. Wallace is on trial for murder right now. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. After I quit you want to talk more about what I found? Yes. Alright, don't lose that confidence, I guess. Court is now resumed for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. During yesterday's trial, it was revealed that the trace of necromancy might not have been left by the defendant. It may have been left by a witness who cast necromancy in an attempt to heal the victim. However, the victim was seen by witnesses well after her time of death. That could only be explained if someone had used necromancy to animate the victim's body, which begged the following question. If the victim had been raised as an undead and ordered to walk to Lecture Hall 2B, where did the murder actually take place? Does the prosecution have an answer for this? Based on the testimonies of several witnesses, it is very likely that the murder took place in the library. Interesting. What led you to this conclusion, Miss Steelwind? First, I'd like to remind the court where the victim was sighted before the body was found. It began when the victim had a meeting with the headmaster near the center of the building. Our meeting was scheduled for 12 p.m. According to my schedule for that day, our meeting lasted for an hour. This brings us to the statement of the next witness, a student at the academy. This student saw the victim walking in the hallways. Miriam Frege. I saw her coming out of the headmaster's office. He was heading toward the library. Which means that our first witness saw Bellwether leave the headmaster's office. Presumably, this would have happened after her meeting there. That would time this encounter at around 1 p.m. The other event is the discovery of the body, which was when Valentina Iannis contacted security. I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in the classroom. Valentina used a communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. As we've already established, this event occurred at 3:04 p.m. But the significance of the time is in what occurred before the body was discovered. The second witness, a member of the cleaning staff, spotted the victim in the West Wing hallway. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere. It was probably 20 to 30 minutes before the twins found the body. This means that this encounter must have happened no later than 2:30 p.m. And this implies that the victim was near the library between 1 and 2:30 p.m. According to the defendant's statements, he was in the library during this time period. Furthermore, the time of death was at 2:01 p.m. This means that Mr. Hughes saw the victim's animated body. Alright. One's deduction. Yeah, put it like that. Makes it easier to look, easier to see. I did wonder if, like, there was something off about the clock in the headmaster's office. Like, what if it was an hour behind? But if Miriam Frege also saw Bellwether at 1 p.m., well, no, that could still work. Because if the meeting started at 1, well, which way did Miriam Frege see Bellwether walking? Was it to the headmaster's office or away from? But from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., Bellwether spent time in the library. He did? I thought she was only there in the morning. I mean, we didn't see her in the afternoon, as far as I know. I mean, I guess she could have been there and just ignored us. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure the only time she bothered us was in the morning. I see. What do you have to say in your defense, Mr. Cuthbert? The prosecution's argument is definitely well thought out, Your Honor. However, it is entirely predicated on the testimonies of all the witnesses involved. Steelwind's deduction had to have a hole somewhere. And since our conversation yesterday, I had had a feeling that Miriam was hiding something. If I wanted to get the truth, I would need to drag that out of her through a cross-examination. Oh yeah, he is dead set on having Miriam participate. Oh boy. Your Honor, to test the validity of these claims, the defense would like both of these witnesses to testify. The defense calls Miriam Frege to the stand. Frege? At the mention of her name, the judge's face turned a bit pale. He fidgeted with his gavel, looking toward the bailiff and then toward Steelwind. I had a feeling it would come to this. Do you have any objections, Miss Steelwind? I do not, Your Honor. Yeah, she's probably just like, alright, let's see where this goes. I warned him. Very well. Bailiff, please escort Lady Frege to the stand. The judge is like, oh, I'm so done with this. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... You little snakes! How dare you deceive me? Oh. It looks like she found out. Just gonna ignore the outburst. I had the opportunity to debrief the witness beforehand. Miss McCoy, I asked you to exercise discretion. I did not imply that you should impersonate a member of my family. Oh. Just airing to the court that Celeste impersonated a member of the Steelwind family. Oopsie. Yeah, sorry about that. I gave you all of the tea that I imported from the Eastern Kingdoms. I demand that you return it to me. No, you gave them to me. They're legally mine now. Anyways, Miriam, would you please testify to the court about your encounter with the victim? Fine. Alright. I was working on a research project in my dorm room when I decided to take a break. I left my room and went on a walk. That's when I saw Professor Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office. Exiting the headmaster's office, okay. She was walking in my direction, so I greeted her and she responded in kind. Okay. In her dorm room, Professor Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office, walking in my direction. Where's the map? Oh, darn it. What was her room? I mean, I see 2J over there on the right. I don't think I can move this around. Oops. No. Yeah, it doesn't really want to move. Wait. What exactly did she say? Working on a research project in my dorm room. Left my room, went on a walk. Oh, she could have been anywhere. She was on a walk. Okay. After that, she headed toward the library. A short time after that, I went back to my room and continued my work. I see. It was only a brief encounter. However brief it was, the witness's testimony verifies two things. One is that Miriam saw the professor exiting the headmaster's office. The other is that she witnessed the victim head toward the library. This gives us a rough timeline of where the victim was before her death. That does seem consistent. Did Bellwether really enter the library after her meeting? I felt like I would have seen her there if she did. Yeah. Like, there's no way she wouldn't bother us again. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Yeah, I gotta draw something more out of her. Was this research project a part of your schoolwork? It was an independent study to develop a new conjuration spell formula. The project is being sponsored by the Crown Prince himself. I wasn't aware that he was involved in such a study. Of course you wouldn't. Did you expect to know every aspect of his life, dear Arya? I sensed some hostility. If you don't keep an eye on him, House Frege might just steal him back from you. As if His Highness would align himself with your rapacious family again. It's nice that you're having a teen romance drama, but, maybe keep that out of the court. Our banking houses form the economic infrastructure of our kingdom. But perhaps he'll come to the Steelwinds if he needs to massacre a village of commoners.
With all due respect, may we please focus on the matter at hand?
Of course, Your Honor.
What was that little bloop?
Did something get updated? Oops. Where'd my... I lost my little cursor thing. Well, that's a funny bug. If I go left on the 4 pillar families, the selection just disappears. Oh, hey, there's Summoned Realms. Pondering the orb while playing this game? Yes. I am a member of those who study the arcane arts. The game is so jank. It is. But I love it. It's sort of silly the way it's jank. Oh, that's right. I went there to see if there was anything new. Did anything get updated? Oh. Maybe people? People would have been updated? The game is not Phoenix Wright, but clearly is. Well, there I went left again. on Frege and it disappeared. Weird. But I like stuff that has to do with like swords and magic. That's a majority of the games I play. So I'm not super interested in Phoenix Wright, but since this has a focus on magic, then I was interested in this. So, like, it's not like I dislike Phoenix Wright, but I'm just not super interested in it. But this made me more interested in that kind of game because magic. Soundboard Filipino? No, I'm full-blooded. Well, born and raised U.S. East Coast. That's the first time I've heard that I sound Filipino. That's interesting. True patriot. English? Alright. Nice, nice. Found string randomly in the simulation category? Simulation category? I didn't even know that was a category. Well, find all sorts of things on Twitch. Hidden away in the deepest parts. Probably a category for the void. What is Voices of Void? I know that's a game. Don't mind me, I'm just a silly little guy. Okay, so I checked this out. I think? Yes. Actually, no. Did I check this? Let's try again. And you're sure that you saw her exit the headmaster's office? Yes, I remember it clearly. I was surprised that she was still meeting with the headmaster at all. She must have been referring to her family's plot to replace him. Did you interact with the professor at all, Miriam? Okay. Walked in my direction, greeted her. Love the voice acting. Thank you, thank you. I'm not the best, but I try. There's a lot of people to voice, so bear with me. I figured this would be an interesting game to voice act. I don't voice act a whole lot of stuff when I play games, but I felt like this would be an interesting one to do. Oops, not present. Press. Did anything seem off about her? No, but it was a very short encounter. It's not as if we stopped to have a conversation. You said that you greeted her and she responded. What did she say? Why is that important? Not important at all. So why? Miss Frege, it's possible that someone used illusion magic that day. Every detail about the victim's interactions could be important. No, he's got a point. That's a good one. Well, I bid her good morning. She said good morning in response. Okay. After that, she headed toward the library. Did you see her enter the library? I didn't, but there's not much else in that direction. From the testimony of Jan Hughes, we know that she later came from the library. Did he actually testify that she came out of the library? Or just from that direction. Good morning. Obvious murder behavior right there. Well, and especially Bellwether. Like, if she says good morning to somebody, they're probably gonna die. I feel like for her, every morning would be horrible. Everything is horrible. Life is horrible. Let's see. Right, I was looking for Jan's statement. We walked past Jan. It says that she walked past Jan. Doesn't say anything about her coming from the library. Even if she didn't enter the library, she was still in that area for more than an hour. Where are the locker rooms? Oh, there's storage. I think the storage is where the locker rooms are. So she could have been, like, if my theory is correct, and she was put inside that armor construct, she could have been waiting in the storage. Like, disguised, well, with the illusion off. Maybe. Well, that would be a good... Yeah, that'd be a good time to put the murder weapon into the locker. Let's see. The headmaster probably could have, like, undone the illusion magic. Would there just be an armor construct in the room? Nobody would really notice anything, although from the picture it looked like it had a hole in its chest, so I don't know about that. Could be that they were betting on nobody entering the storage room and really noticing it. Or it could have been just disguised as a normal set of armor with the illusion magic. And then changed back to Bellwether later. Wait. When she walked past Jan, where was Jan? Where was the vase? Was she coming from the storage or from the library? Directions. So many questions. Walked into 2B. Head out, have a good rest of your day. Alright, well, thanks for popping in. Hope you have a good day as well. Let's see. But yeah, there's the construct in the locker room with the hole in it. She walked into 2B. There's not much room between the storage and 2B. Yes, I don't know what happened there. I need more clues. Okay, went back to room, continued work. How long did you leave your dorm room? Only for a few minutes. I try not to let my breaks go for too long. And you didn't see the professor again after your first encounter? No, I did not. Her testimony seems pretty straightforward, but she could still be lying. I'm honestly not sure. We'll just have to focus on her statements about how Bellwether acted. I don't know what to present as evidence here. I gotta present something, I guess. I should have pressed every statement. Wait, did I press the headed toward the library one? I think I did. Good morning. She did respond to that. I pressed her for that. Exiting the headmaster's office. Okay. Well, here's something I was wondering about. If she saw Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office, that means she would have had to be, like, what is it? I can't show my cursor here. Would have had to been in that one hallway, because otherwise she wouldn't be able to see the entrance to the headmaster's office. Presented. Objection! Yeah, I don't know if this is right, but it's worth a shot. Your Honor, it's clear that the witness's testimony is contradictory, and this piece of evidence proves it. I fail to see how that proves anything, Mr. Cuthbert. Oh, I guess you're right. Okay. Yeah, I wish... Well, I almost wish there was a way I could ask her about that without presenting it as evidence. A research project. What could I even say to this? Do I present the evidence of academic dishonesty in regards to her project? Or... well, maybe the bid her good morning thing actually is suspicious. Because with the evidence of academic dishonesty that we found on Bellwether's body, I think? they wouldn't really be friendly enough to say hello to each other.
Objection!
Give it a shot. It's clear that the witness's testimony is contradictory. And this proves it. No, okay. Nope, that was not the one. Well, I guess I'm looking for something that makes the testimony itself contradictory. I have to use the testimony against the testimony, so it needs to be something mentioned here. Hey there, Kenta. Objection. If it was always Christmas, then it wasn't Christmas. Yes. This logic. How do I beat that? Impossible. Left my room and went on a walk. Saw Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office. She was walking toward me. Maybe that... Can I use the map here? Because if you left her room... Wait, but where was... I don't remember where her room is. How similar is this to Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I mean, I haven't played the Phoenix Wright games myself. I've seen a little bit of them here and there. It does seem very similar. Also, gay sexual tension. I don't think so yet, at least. I haven't noticed anything like that yet. It just straight tension. True. I ship Tyrion and Celeste, and I'm pretty sure that ship has begun to sail. Getting started a lot of game tension. Oh yeah, what between Phoenix and... Oh my goodness, I can't remember the guy in Red's name. I don't know, the prosecution lawyer. Yeah. And Miles? I'm not familiar with Miles as much. Oh, Miles Edgeworth. Okay. Edgeworth, that's it. I was thinking it. I didn't realize his name was Miles. Lamau. I just know him as Edgeworth. Mr. Edgy. Oh, that's right. I was, where is her dorm room? Don't remember. That's sort of important. Maybe. Well, wait, let's see. Well, yeah, it's lecture halls. There's no dorm room over there. So the dorm... Okay, yeah, that should be the contradiction. Over there on the right, that should be the dorms. So if she's coming out of her dorm, sees Bellwether exit the headmaster's office, and Bellwether is heading toward her, that means that Bellwether was heading toward the dorms, not the library. Oh no. Oh no. Help. I can't present. Save me, mouse. It's not working. Help! Oh, I can save. Thank goodness. Yeah, hit enter to try to present that way, but I don't know what happened there. Enter brought up the escape menu. But that works. The jank is part of the case, or it's part of the puzzle challenge. It's like you have to puzzle around the jank while you work with the case. Oh, what? Oh. Okay. Alright. So I guess it's sort of saved, like, right after I pressed her for everything? Okay. I guess I'll choose this statement to present. He was walking toward me. Oh. Objection! Your Honor, it's clear that the witness's testimony is contradictory, and this piece of evidence proves it. I fail to see how that proves anything, Mr. Cuthbert. What do you mean? Excuse me? Okay, I'll try this one. Although I think I already tried this, maybe. No, it's... What do you want from me, game? I'm sure that's a contradiction. And overthinking. Contradiction's a lot more in your face. Decided to take a break. Left my room, went on a walk. Walking toward me, bid her good morning, she responded in kind. Went toward the library. Went back to her room and continued my work. Got a hint? I mean, yeah, go ahead, please. It might be in my face, but I guess I'm blind in close quarters. Can you press more information? That is almost always the contradicting statement. Okay, did I miss something? Because I don't think she added a statement. Did I not press this one? See her enter the library? No, I did press this one. Oh, she did? You forgot? Okay. Darn it. Wait a minute. Meeting with Bellwether. Bellwether walking the hallway. No, so that would be right. If I remember correctly, the only thing that was really added was the good morning thing, but I didn't think it really added to the statement. But it must be this then. It said good morning. That's what was added? Okay. Maybe it was something like I greeted her before or something. And then it got changed to exchanges of good morning. Yeah, maybe the reputation. Because I did sort of pick up on that before, like with the evidence of academic dishonesty. I thought that maybe that would prove that she wouldn't want to say good morning. She's not really that friendly. Maybe to present evidence on the reputation was the right one. Objection! Nope. Oh my goodness. What am I supposed to do? He was walking toward me. I tried the map for this one already, right? Yeah. I might be stupid, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for here. The last even? The deduction? Objection! The heck? What? How am I supposed to pick out this one? I don't see the logic in leading me to this. Okay. As a meeting with Bellwether, saw Bellwether walking the hallway. Hmm. But yeah, her statement was she was walking toward me, and then they exchanged good mornings. But then we bring up the time. So I just don't see how the logic connects. I don't know. Miss Frege, if I recall correctly, you have a habit of getting absorbed in your work. Thank you for the help, by the way. So much so that you'll even lose track of the time of day. If I recall correctly, you pulled that information out of me through your lies. Regardless, earlier in today's proceedings, the prosecutor made the following argument. Our first witness saw Bellwether leave the meeting with the headmaster. That would time this encounter around 1 p.m. Miss Frege, if you had said good morning to the professor, you would have been mistaken. Because that encounter could only have happened during the afternoon. Oh, that's the logic. I am stupid. Well, okay, maybe this is influenced by everybody coming in and saying good morning when it's like 10 o'clock at night. Okay. I'm just used to the phrase good morning being used whenever. Streamer problems. And your point is? You said it yourself, Mr. Cuthbert. The witness simply lost track of time. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not actually blaming you or anybody. I just find it funny. What the witness said isn't what's important here. The significance is in what the professor said in response. She had just come out of a meeting that was scheduled for noon and ran for an hour. She would be well aware that it was no longer morning. Wouldn't she have corrected the witness? Their encounter was extremely short, and the victim's mind may have been preoccupied. She could have easily responded to the witness without thinking. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of agree with her. It's not hard to believe that they were both confused about the time. It was definitely a stretch, but I still couldn't shake the feeling that Miriam was hiding something. Every time I asked her about how Bellwether acted that day, the Eye of Horus read a suspicious thought. There had to be something there. Miss Frege, you haven't been entirely truthful in your testimony, have you? That's absurd. What reason would I have to lie? Such a small detail. Why does he even care? Every detail about how she acted is important, Miss Frege. What aren't you telling us? Mr. Cuthbert, you have no basis to accuse the witness of perjury. Yes. You will stop this at once. Miss Frege, you're lying about how Bellwether responded to your greeting, aren't you? Dang, he just keeps going. He's going to be accused of perjury. Doesn't make a difference. All she did was yell at me. All she did was yell? Miss Frege, is it possible that Bellwether's response was less than friendly? What do you care? What difference does it make? This peasant. Why is he being so persistent? My job is to make sure every part of your testimony is truthful. Every detail matters, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Or contempt, yeah, not perjury. Mr. Cuthbert, you will stop this, or I will find you in contempt. The professor yelled at you, didn't she, Miss Frege? Dang, he just keeps going. I mean, he's playing a dangerous game here. Yeah, so what if she did? Oh, but he got something. She broke. I mean... I'm sorry, but we all clearly heard what you just said. So, you do admit that she yelled at you? You impertinent little... Yes, I admit it. The professor didn't greet me back that day. Oh, good morning, Professor. Be quiet. She yelled at me to be quiet. But until then, we have always been nothing but courteous with each other. Really? I don't know what got into her that day, but something had put her in a foul mood. But that's it. Everything else I said was the truth. I am telling the truth. It's all she did. But that's exactly what we needed. Because if I remember correctly, she said the exact same thing to Jan. Be quiet. It was a yell. And constructs can only say certain, well, can only do certain actions, say certain phrases, etc. Whatever they're programmed with. So at that point, she was already dead. According to my theory. I did see her come out of the headmaster's office and walk toward the library. So she wasn't lying about that. So, is that all, Mr. Cuthbert? What do you mean, is that all? You badgered this witness, all so you could prove... what exactly? The witness committed perjury. The witness changed a small detail of her testimony. A detail that is inconsequential to the case. Oh, Arya, if only you knew. It was clearly an act with no malicious intent. After seeing her thoughts, it was difficult to disagree with that. I was so sure that the eye would give me a thread to pull on, but she was only lying to save face. The witness saw the victim leave the headmaster's office and head toward the library. Do you have any concrete evidence to refute that, Mr. Cuthbert? No, I guess not. Wait, is this really okay? At this rate, this will be the only chance you have to cross-examine her. I don't think she's lying anymore, and I was really pushing my luck earlier. Yeah, I feel like in a Phoenix Wright game, he would already be kicked out of the courtroom or something. Lamau. If I continue pressing her, the judge might actually charge me with contempt. But if Miriam wasn't the one who was lying, then... The defense has no further questions for the witness, Miss Steelwind. The prosecutor stayed silent for a while. She almost looked disappointed. Is there something else we could have dug out of her? Or was she hoping that we would find something? Very well. Miriam, you are dismissed. Miriam shot me a look of disdain, but she left the room without protest. The judge let out a sigh as the young noble was escorted out of the room. It was as if he was expecting the young noble to literally explode at any moment. Now, with that out of the way, what else do you have, Mr. Cuthbert? The only way to refute the prosecution's theory was to cast doubt on one of the witnesses. If it wasn't Miriam, then... Steelwind. To test your theory, we must question every witness who saw the victim that day. So, with that said, the defense would like to call Jan Hughes to the stand. I hope you understand, Mr. Cuthbert. Your entire case rests on the assumption that one of the witness accounts is incorrect. If your cross-examination of Mr. Hughes leads nowhere, then I hope you're ready to concede. I didn't like the sound of it, but she was right. Unless I could find something in Jan's testimony, I wouldn't have a case at all. Bailiff, please bring in Mr. Hughes. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the courtroom. Witness, name and occupation.
Right. My name is Jan Hughes. I'm on the cleaning staff of the academy.
Mr. Hughes, please testify to the court about your encounter with the professor that day.
All right. I saw the professor when I was cleaning the West Wing hallways. It was about 20 to 30 minutes before the body was discovered. She walked by me, but she looked pretty out of it. I heard she was undead when this happened. Pretty creepy if you ask me. After that, she went into the empty classroom.
Well, that was straightforward. Come on, Jan. What are we supposed to do with that?
I don't know. You guys are the lawyers. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay.
How are you so sure that it was 30 minutes before?
I always check the time to make sure I'm on schedule. I was supposed to finish cleaning the halls by 3 p.m.
Right. The body was discovered at 3:04 p.m. What was the professor like, Mr. Hughes?
Did anything else look off about her? Yeah, probably. He wasn't undead after all.
Well, what did you see? That remains to be proven.
If you say so.
Anyways, what was her demeanor like?
He looked like she was in a bad mood. Either that or she was tired. But I guess she was actually just dead.
Yeah, what? I believe you've forgotten a few details about what the professor did.
Yeah? Sorry, it's hard to remember these things sometimes.
Yeah, these are some important points. She told him to be quiet. She knocked down the vase. Did she interact with you at all?
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice her at first, and I accidentally got in her way. She shoved me to the side and kept walking forward.
This detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Hughes.
Whatever you say, man.
I'm gonna start yawning. Okay, did she touch anything? Yeah, did she touch anything?
Oh, yeah. He knocked over a vase and shattered it. It might have been an accident, but she's done stuff like that on purpose before.
This detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Hughes.
Whatever you say, man.
Okay, and then, I don't know if, was there a sound thing? Well, yeah. The yell, be quiet, right? Because that wasn't covered when he mentioned that she pushed him out of the way. Did you hear her make any sounds?
Oh, yeah. After she knocked over the vase, she yelled at me to be quiet. But I didn't even say anything.
This detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Hughes.
Whatever you say, man.
Okay. She went into the classroom. Did you see anyone else enter that classroom?
I'm honestly not sure. I wasn't paying much attention to her. I did think it was weird that she went in there. With a funky smell, I can't think of any reason why someone would go there.
Oh, that's why she went in there. Maybe, probably. Yeah, she probably went into that room because the funky smell would interfere with the smell of a corpse. He's not giving us a lot to work with. Tends to leave out details unless we directly ask him about them. We just need to ask him the right questions. Maybe we can pull more information out of him. Okay, well, I've pressed every statement. And then... Okay, this, I can present this. He yelled at him, but she couldn't have been undead because undead can't speak. There. Objection! Mr. Hughes, you said that Bellwether yelled at you. What were her exact words?
I think she yelled at me to be quiet.
What?
I thought it was weird. I didn't even say anything. But I know better than to talk back to her.
That's the thing, Mr. Hughes. The prosecution's theory is as follows. The professor was murdered in the library and was reanimated using animate corpse. With a quick illusion spell, no one would notice that she was undead. However, if what you saw was truly the undead Bellwether, how did she speak to you?
Huh?
This can't be right. Mr. Hughes, undead can follow simple orders, but they don't have the intelligence to speak. Perhaps the witness was mistaken.
No, I'm sure I heard her yell at me. I remembered because what she said didn't make any sense.
Exactly. He didn't say anything, but she still yelled at him to be quiet. Wait a minute. I'm afraid I don't understand. We've already established that the victim was dead long before her encounter with Mr. Hughes. But if what he saw wasn't an undead, what was it? It had to be an undead. What other explanation is there? It couldn't have been a major illusion. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to shove Jan out of the way or knock over the vase. Whatever it was, someone probably used an illusory disguise to make it look like Bellwether. Does that mean it was a person? No. If it were a person, how did Bellwether's body end up in the lecture hall? Bellwether wouldn't have been able to turn herself invisible if she was dead. And whatever Jan saw, it needed to be something that could have transported Bellwether's body unseen. It would have also needed to have mass and the ability to speak. What created Bellwether's voice?
Alright, here we go. I got this.
Or at the very least, it needs to be something that can recreate Bellwether's voice. What could have done that?
Oh boy, do I have a theory for you.
That's it! What? Everyone, the witness didn't actually hear the dead victim speaking. What he actually heard was Bellwether's voice being recreated using magic. Are you trying to say that her voice was recreated using a spell? Not a spell, Steelwind. It was artificery. And whoever the murderer is, they had the perfect piece of artificery available to them. One programmed with Catherine Bellwether's voice. You can't possibly mean... That's right, Steelwind. What Mr. Hughes saw was an arcane construct. An arcane construct? It's a magically animated suit of armor, Your Honor. But we ruled out such a possibility, hadn't we? Construct or not, no one could disguise themselves and carry the body to the classroom. A person wouldn't have been able to do it, but arcane constructs are a different thing entirely. Those suits of armor are extremely large, but more importantly, they're hollow. That means that theoretically, someone could have placed the victim's body inside it. The arcane construct wouldn't just transport the body. With an illusory disguise, it would also confuse and mislead anyone who saw it.
Objection!
What? Why? I commend your deduction, Mr. Cuthbert. I would have never considered that possibility. It's certainly plausible, but what does this prove exactly? It proves that the body wasn't animated using necromancy. My client isn't the murderer. The defendant is still capable of performing all the acts that you described. His compendium contains illusory disguise, after all. There were several students in the library that day. Any of them could have committed the murder. One might come to that conclusion if they didn't have one crucial piece of evidence. Oh. Oh boy, here we go. The blade. Now that we drew Miriam onto the stand, she doesn't have to hold back. I'd like to present a new piece of evidence to the court. From under her table, Steelwind pulled out Miriam Frega's bloody rapier. A sword? Is that... Yes, Your Honor. This is the murder weapon. This rapier was reported stolen by Miriam Frega weeks before the murder. During the investigation, it was finally found in the defendant's locker. Wait. He was clearly trying to use one of her possessions in a paltry attempt to frame her. Why, he even stole her locker's nameplate and placed it over his. Damn it. That wasn't what really happened. Yeah. Well, I guess you could look at this as her having enough faith in us to pull out her final piece of evidence. I think she believes us, but in order to fully draw out the truth, we need to use every piece of evidence. That must be her line of thinking. But honestly, it sounded more plausible than what really took place. We're basically back to square one, aren't we? Anyone could have told that construct to do all those things. The log! Remember the log! Wait, was that really true? The construct transported the professor's body, and someone used an illusion to make it look like her. They even used a pre-recorded voice to make the illusion more convincing. Who ordered the construct to hide the body? Could anyone have done that? I don't... No, this isn't the point where I point out the construct in the locker room. For this, I should be pointing out Headmaster's authority.
Voice lines can only be changed or adjusted by the Academy headmaster. Although that doesn't really... I mean, maybe? That's probably the most likely one. Because they're going for a prepared voice. So if it was a prepared voice... No. The constructs will take orders from anyone, but not all of their functions are enabled. Who would have every function available to them? Wait, what? I guess I want to point out the headmaster? Yeah. It was at that moment that several memories flooded back to me. Mr. Hughes, you said that Bellwether yelled at you. What were her exact words? I think she yelled at me to be quiet. She yelled at me to be quiet. Until then, we had always been nothing but courteous with each other. I don't know what got into her that day, but something put her in a foul mood. Be quiet. Sorry. Be quiet. Eris giggled to herself. She was clearly amused by what was happening. The construct's voice is an amalgam of pre-recorded phrases. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but it uses the voice of Professor Bellwether. I knew there was something wrong with it. Unfortunately, you can't make them say anything other than basic responses. Only the headmaster can change those settings. Oh. Wait a minute. Why does he remember that face? Because that was one of the things that got changed. Interesting. No. Was it him the entire time? What is it, Tyrion? Did you figure something out? I did. I didn't like where this was going, but with the way the pieces were laid out, there was only one explanation. Steelwind. Earlier you said that my client could have orchestrated this entire ruse, but that's simply not true. How so? Anyone could have ordered the construct to carry the victim's body. Yes, but not everyone can change what the constructs are able to say. Only one individual has the credentials for that. Theodore Redmond, headmaster of the Imperial Academy. Gasp. Wait, you're not serious, are you? You think the headmaster did all this? I don't want to believe it, but he's the only person who could have done it. That's completely ridiculous. Headmaster Redmond is 88 years old. He could never do something like this. Steelwind, there's one common element between each of the witnesses' encounters with Bellwether. It's what Bellwether said to them. She yelled at both of them to be quiet. Miriam Frege was particularly surprised. She had a good relationship with the professor, but when greeted by the professor, Bellwether just shouted at her. Almost as if the professor was responding indiscriminately. And recall her encounter with Jan Hughes. The professor knocked over a vase and shouted at him to be quiet immediately after.
but he hadn't said anything.
She was responding to the sound of the vase breaking.
Oh. Okay, I see. Now let me ask you this, Steelwind. Where did Bellwether come from before she encountered Miss Frege and Mr. Hughes?
Her meeting
with the headmaster. It appears that the defense truly means to indict Theodore Redmond. If so, we have no choice but to take a brief recess until he can be brought here. There's no need. Oh snap. Fortunately for you, I was already in the gallery. The headmaster stood up from the gallery behind me and slowly made his way onto the witness stand. Had he been here the entire time? Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Cuthbert. But are you trying to say that I am the one who committed this crime? I'm sorry, Mr. Redmond, but no matter how I look at it, everything I've found points to you. No, there's no need to apologize. In fact, I should commend you on the lengths that you're going to defend dear Wallace.
The court appreciates your understanding, Mr. Redmond.
How can she speak so cordially after all she's done? Huh? Now then, to clear the air, I suppose I should give my testimony on what happened that day. That day, I had a meeting scheduled with the professor at noon. She showed up at the expected time, and we discussed various administrative matters. Our meeting went on for an hour, after which she left to prepare for her next class. Despite our many disagreements, we still knew how to be civil with one another. After all, I had no reason to bear a personal grudge against her. I think that's the one. Because she was going to kick him out.
I just can't see it. He seems like such a nice old man. Is he really the killer we're looking for?
He has to be. No one else could have orchestrated this entire plot. I just needed to find out how to prove it. I don't know. With what we've seen so far, I don't think he killed Bellwether for malicious reasons. Like, he does really seem to care about the students and everything. And he and all the other people that really care were gonna get kicked out. This was probably a last gap measure to, well, help all the students. Because things would probably go way downhill if you let Bellwether take over. And the scholarship program would end. Like... So, if that's his reason for killing Bellwether, I honestly sort of feel for him, because she is clearly a bad move. But... yeah, I mean, murder is still not okay, but I don't know really what other options he had. He was sort of pushed to the brink. So it's like, I can understand him. Still not okay, but I can understand him.
That's if he had no ulterior motives, which we'll find out, I guess. What was this meeting for? Oh, nothing of note. We were merely discussing her daily operations and duties within the academy. In an academy such as ours, it is beneficial to regularly communicate with the staff. Showed up at the expected time, yada yada. So she showed up at exactly 12 p.m.? More or less. Catherine Bellwether was many things, but she was never tardy. There weren't any witnesses who saw her before the meeting, so I didn't have a way to disprove what he's saying. I needed to look elsewhere in his testimony. How long did this meeting last, Headmaster? Going for an hour. So that means the professor left your office at 1 p.m.? Yes. She was quite adamant about taking time to prepare her lesson plans. Now that I thought about it, Miriam had no idea what the time was when she saw Bellwether. If the headmaster was lying about when the meeting ended, there'd be no way to verify it, which would account for the hour gap that Steelwind mentioned. Damn it. Did the headmaster really do this? That's true. It could have been way longer. Despite our many disagreements, we still knew how to be civil with one another. After hearing so much about her, I find that a little hard to believe. I can see why you'd say that, but despite everything, I was still her superior. She always remained professional when speaking with me. Was that really true, though? No reason to bear a personal grudge. Really? Even after the way she's acted toward the students and faculty? Make no mistake, I've heard many complaints regarding her actions, and I've had many conversations with her to attempt to correct her behavior. At the end of the day, however, she was a remarkable professor, regardless of her lack of people skills. This testimony pretty much matches what we know so far. I'm not exactly sure if he's lying or not. At the very least, we know that he was involved in the professor's murder. First, I would need to make his motive clear. Yep. Make his motive clear. Bellwether's plan.
Objection!
Redmond, did you really hold no animosity toward Professor Bellwether? Of course not. I did have strong opinions about how she treated the students, but I always remained professional. We both did. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. In fact, I think you might have had a very good reason to murder the professor. Considering that she was going to take your job. What? So you knew about that. Oh, and you just gave yourself away. That was your last defense, bud. If he had pretended not to know about that, then he probably could have used that as defense. Like, oh no, I didn't know anything about this. He would have no motive. But no, this right here proves that he did know. And he did have motive. Bro folding from zero pressure. Or maybe from like one pressure. I'm sorry, but I don't follow. Just how was the professor going to take the headmaster's job? According to Miriam Frege, Catherine Bellwether was currying favor with the school board. In fact, there was a plan to oust Mr. Redmond and appoint Bellwether as the new headmaster of the academy. What? But in any case, I doubt that the headmaster had any idea of this until now. Nope, he already gave himself away. Yep. And he's gonna use it against him. I'd like to remind the court of the witness's reaction just now. He said, "So you knew about that." His reaction was one of surprise, but he wasn't surprised by this information. He was surprised that I knew this information. That's... Please, dear Arya. I may be a frail old man, but I'm perfectly capable of defending myself. Oh snap, he opened his eyes. Oh shit. It's getting real. If you have an explanation, Mr. Redmond, then by all means I'd love to hear it. Gladly. It is true that I knew about the Frege's plot beforehand, but I had only just learned about it. On the day of the murder, the professor told me about her plan. She was going to replace me as headmaster, and replace the staff with her arcane constructs. Now, you might say that this would have given me the perfect motive to murder the professor. However, the supposed murder weapon was stolen from Lady Frege. This happened weeks before our meeting. I had no knowledge of their plan before she told me, and therefore I wouldn't have known to steal Lady Frege's weapon in an attempt to frame her. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Cuthbert? There's no way that the headmaster could have come up with this plan. If he really did do this, that means he stole the rapier too, right? Most likely. His alibi makes sense. He couldn't have planned this whole thing unless he knew about Bellwether's plans. That would mean that he knew about this weeks ago. But how did he even find out? The best way to tell a convincing lie is to leave a lot of truths and only change one detail. Maybe Bellwether did tell him, but she actually told him weeks ago. But how would I prove that? Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. So you only learned about it recently? Doesn't that seem a bit too convenient for you? It may appear that way, yes. But... the day of the murder, okay. That must have infuriated you. Your colleague betrayed you and attempted to steal your job. I'm only human. Of course I was taken aback. I've been headmaster of the Imperial Academy for nearly 60 years. To think that the professor and the board would go around behind my back like that. Give me a perfect motive. With the professor dead, you won't have to worry about losing your job. At least not for a while. I suppose you're correct. But there are others who benefit too. The faculty staff is now aware of the Frege's plot. With her plot delayed, they won't need to worry about abruptly losing their jobs either. But what would happen if I proved that Redmond was the killer? He would be sent to prison and the school board would just appoint someone else to carry out their plan. No, I couldn't think about that now. If I couldn't prove Redmond's guilt, the court would convict Wallace. Yeah. This is a no-win situation, pretty much. Big oof. Well, it's basically a trolley problem, I guess. On one hand, we got Wallace. On the other hand, we got the fate of the entire school. Goody. Although, well, besides defending Wallace, there's also, like, maybe we could make a dent in the stigma on necromancers. I sort of doubt it, but at least hopefully things wouldn't get worse. However, if Wallace loses, then things will definitely get worse. Or at least the stigma will be reinforced. But yeah, this is still a no-win situation. Oh boy. Okay, supposed murder weapon was stolen weeks before the meeting. As the headmaster, you'd probably have the tools available to get into her room. Yes, I will admit that. The Academy has a master key that can be used to enter each of the students' dorms. Then you had the perfect way to get into her room and steal the rapier undetected. I suppose I did. However, there's one flaw with your logic. Yeah, no knowledge of the plan before. It was my understanding that the school board wanted to keep this a secret until the very end. Why would Bellwether, of all people, tell you about her betrayal? I imagined she wanted to taunt me with that information. We've long had our disagreements, and looking back, she may have resented me for that. At that point, there wasn't anything I could do to stop her. Really? I thought you and the professor were on good terms. I'd thought so too, but I suppose it was all a facade. She was just biding her time until she could take my position as headmaster. If he's the one behind this, he had to have known about Bellwether's betrayal weeks ago. Right. The question is, how do we prove it? What evidence do I have? Wait. The foul classroom smell. Weeks ago. Yeah. It still lingers in the room. It wouldn't really prove that he had knowledge of it, but it is suspicious that he used, or that he made that weeks ago. I don't know, like, that could be what I'm looking for? There's the evidence of academic dishonesty. I don't... Oh, you know what? I was just thinking, I wondered why the construct had knocked over that vase in the first place. It could be to show that it was an actual person and not an illusion. Like maybe Redmond did that on purpose. That just sort of popped in my head when I went past that. He could have blackmailed Miriam? I don't know, YOLO. Wait, I passed by the evidence and didn't read it completely? School officials and various other offenses. I mean, I plan to present this anyway, but bribery of school officials? Wanna? Is that what you're pointing out? Like, there's nothing that directly alludes to him being replaced, but I guess you could put that together with, like, the bribery and whatnot. Maybe he found out that way. Your Honor, it's clear that the witness's testimony is contradictory, and this piece of evidence proves it. Nope. Okay. Was it the wrong statement? Only just learned about it? Maybe that one? Objection! Nope. Okay, time to read everything. Voice lines can only be changed or adjusted. Command is stored in its command log. There's the autopsy, necromancy, illusion, map, classroom smell. Weeks ago, the headmaster performed an alchemy experiment incorrectly. Rancid yet harmless vapor. Headmaster's actions. Must receive a call for security. Fatally wounded. Enemy lockdown system. Medical barriers that isolate. Muscle block mage is teleporting. Reputation. I mean, I could try the reputation, but I don't think that would go anywhere. Also, spell compendium and statement.
Be quiet. Bellwether witness must have been disguised from illusion. Still be there. Evidence in the locker. The blood doesn't have any traces of magic. Switched IDs. Construct in the locker room. Isn't allowing the Knights of the Inquisition. Bloody rape here. Reported stolen weeks before the murder. Wait, according to Jan, Bellwether revealed this plan to the headmaster during a meeting a few weeks ago. Oh, duh. That's the one. Okay. Well, then here we go. Yeah, this piece of evidence proves it. Wait, what? What? Yeah, I guess I'm... Oh, right. No knowledge of the plan before she told me when... so that would be the first one. I just learned about... Yeah. Silly me. What? What? That's some bullshit. That should clearly be contradictory. Day of the murder. Okay, this one? On the day of the murder? Objection! That should be it. The music stopped. Redmond, you keep saying that you didn't know about Bellwether's plot before yesterday. Do you still plan on standing behind that claim? Of course I am. It's the truth. I'm sorry, Redmond, but you should really close your doors during your meetings. What? No. Did someone see us? That face, though. It is true that Bellwether revealed her plan to you during one of your meetings. In fact, Jan Hughes happened to overhear that same meeting. But he only overheard the part where the staff would be replaced. Oh. And that's the strangest part, Redmond. According to Mr. Hughes, this meeting occurred weeks ago. You can't accuse the headmaster of perjury based on a rumor. Everything you've just said is based on second-hand information. Mr. Hughes distinctly overheard that the staff would be replaced with arcane constructs. That is too specific and too accurate to assume that he misheard. The professor must have only revealed her plans for the arcane constructs. That still doesn't prove that he knew about her treachery beforehand. Professor Bellwether had no authority over the cleaning staff's employment. It wouldn't make sense for her to just reveal her plan for the arcane constructs. That would only make sense if he knew that Bellwether would be taking his job. So tell me one thing, Redmond. Why did you find the need to lie about this? Is it because you saw a need to establish an alibi? Redmond, I'm only going to ask you one more time. Did you murder Catherine Bellwether? Oh snap. Theodore Redmond had done something truly terrible. The school board rejected my proposed staffing budget.
we won't be able to hire more custodians.
Of course they rejected it. Our current janitor simply needs to stop lazing about. Then you wouldn't have to spend all of your free time helping him.
How did you... Is that how they found out? Did you tell them? Oh. Wait, so Jan really is lazy? Dang. Theodore's been helping him this entire time. Well, I don't know. It doesn't mean he's lazy. Like, there could just be too much for one man, even if he's working hard. She doesn't really mention how much help he's giving. Just that he's helping. Anyway.
I did.
Why? What I do after school hours is none of your concern.
It becomes my concern when the headmaster of my academy debases himself in such a manner. You were mopping floors alongside him like a common servant. Have you no shame?
What else was I supposed to do? You can't possibly expect one man to keep an entire school clean.
Hughes is clearly capable. The academy is spotless despite his lounging about.
Only because he's working during every waking hour. Yeah, okay, so he's not lazy. It's just too much for one guy. He barely has enough time to sleep.
Please, I've caught him napping on the job more times than I can count. Honestly, you coddle these animals far too much.
Professor Bellwether, I have called you here to discuss your treatment of certain students.
This again?
Do you remember Gillian Fletcher? He was a part of your advanced illusion track.
I remember failing him. His performance during the final exam was laughable.
They found his body in the lake last night. I had always warned you that something like this might happen. I understand that you feel you have responsibilities to the kingdom, but our students are still human beings.
I fail to see how any of this is my responsibility.
Professor, surely even you must understand.
No, I think it's you who fails to understand. He may have been a mage, but he could never walk the path of the Scaled Lord's Chosen with such a plebeian constitution. What did you think would happen? The real act of cruelty was placing that layabout next to our kingdom's best and brightest. What did you think happens to trash when they're faced with their betters?
You never allowed him the opportunity to succeed. Don't think I'm blind to what's been happening. I've received several reports that you've been harassing the students admitted through the scholarship program.
Then take those reports to the school board, Redmond. If these urchins fall apart over the tiniest bit of criticism, then they have no place here. They can't handle it, Redmond. It's that simple. Maybe this incident will finally make you see reason.
You... do? How do I stop her? It's only a matter of time before the school board names her as the new headmaster. For that, I won't be able to protect anyone from her. I'll be powerless. Temptation. Boy, who could this be?
That's not how I see it.
What?
You're clinging to shadows, Redmond. Titles, influence, reputation, they're all just illusions. Strip those away and you're Bellwether's equal.
If only it truly worked like that. Reality is far more complicated than that.
Is it, though? Her friends on the school board can't pump blood through her veins. Those nobles she dotes on can't draw breath into her lungs. All are equal in death. The survivors are the ones who determine what will be. It doesn't matter if you're a commoner, a noble, or the scaled lord himself.
What are you saying?
You should fight for what you believe in. Do whatever it takes to create the universe you want.
Theodore Redmond had done something truly terrible.
He had truly despised Catherine Bellwether with all of his heart.
In his mind, this world was a better place without her in it.
Yet the sound of that rapier piercing her heart had been echoing endlessly within his head. It was as if her ghost were floating over his shoulder, torturing him by repeating her last anguished gasps. It made his stomach churn. He took no pleasure in taking her life, and his soul felt forever scarred from what he'd done. But you've already come this far, haven't you?
I have already come this far.
Yeah. His one thought during, was it the first time we met him? Something about, I've already come this far?
What a fine mess this is. I'm not done. Not yet.
Headmaster?
So, you truly plan on pushing this, do you?
I won't let anyone stop me from getting justice for Wallace.
Well, your thesis sounds promising, Mr. Cuthbert, but I believe your arguments could use a little work.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. You think I killed Catherine Bellwether? Me?
Oh. That music. Actually, hold on. Oh, I can't save here. Oh well, it's fine. Just taking a moment to appreciate the music. Alright, that's some good stuff.
I am an elderly man in his late 80s. I was alone and could not overpower Bellwether. I can barely walk, much less wield a rapier.
Arcane constructs, the answer to all our problems. But you and Bellwether weren't the only people in that room, were you? You needed the arcane construct to carry Bellwether's body. That means the construct would have already been in your office. And with your privileges, you could have easily programmed the construct to stab Bellwether for you. Even so, think about what would have transpired afterward. Do you recall Miss Steelwind's timeline of Bellwether's witnesses? With your theory, the construct would have spent more than an hour in the library. I wouldn't have the construct linger around the library. Having it there would have risked my so-called ruse from being discovered. I was lucky. Lady Frege can't tell night from day.
Thought contradicts the evidence. Thought contradicts their claim. Emotions contradict their claim.
Probably intuition. It's not contradicting evidence. Oh, wait. Wouldn't have the construct linger around the library. Yeah, I'm still thinking intuition. The timing deduced from Miss Frega's testimony is predicated on one thing. He saw Miss Bellwether exit your office after your meeting. However, if we assume that you're lying about when this meeting ended, your entire argument falls apart. Miss Frega would have encountered Bellwether after her death at 2:01 p.m. Miss Frega wouldn't have made a mistake like that. Miss Frega thought it was morning when she saw Bellwether. She can't reliably tell the time. Then what about where the rapier was placed? If I really was the murderer, then that would mean I planted the weapon in young Wallace's locker. Several of the students had lockers there that I had access to. I wouldn't have placed incriminating evidence in that locker. Wallace is one of my prized students. If I had to frame anyone, he would be the last person I chose. Well, for that, the nameplates got switched. So I guess that's why he was confused when Wallace was the suspect. Because he put the incriminating evidence in what he thought was Miriam's locker. And Wallace is literally only involved because of Mallory. Poor Wallace. But yeah, Wallace was just unlucky. Right, what is the piece of evidence that is this? Construct in the Academy locker room. Okay, evidence in the locker. Somebody switched IDs. I think that's the only one that talks about switching the ID numbers. Wait, okay, yeah. Could be that. You're right, Mr. Redmond. You wouldn't try to frame Wallace, but you would try to frame Miriam Frega. It would have been the perfect act of revenge, wouldn't it? You murder your treacherous coworker and frame the daughter of the family that helped her. If Miriam had been implicated, the Inquisition would have immediately swept Bellwether's murder under the rug. Yeah, he could have gotten away with it. If not for a meddlesome attorney. But something went wrong, didn't it, Redmond? The labels on Wallace's locker and Miriam's locker were switched. Anyone who saw that would have easily mixed them up. I am the headmaster of the Imperial Academy. I have records of all students' lockers and where they're located. There's no reason I would make a mistake like that. If I truly planned this, I would have known where Wallace's locker was. Simple change in labels wouldn't have led me to make a careless mistake like that. Even so, Redmond's framing an innocent girl. He was counting on it being swept under the rug. Makes more sense. Yeah. Well, and I mean, yeah, I guess she was innocent. I don't know. I mean, she's innocent in this case, but still, it might not get out that he was the murderer or anything. They would try to cover it up, but I wonder if behind closed doors there would be a bit of a stigma on her from then on.
but also, like, I'm not sure if she did actually take part in the plan to replace him, so she's not completely innocent. Like, I'm not sure how trustworthy this evidence of academic dishonesty is, but there is the bribery of school officials and whatnot, committed by Miriam Frege. So, I mean, it seems like she's legitimately working on a project. So I don't know if this was just made up evidence or what. Assume this is all forgery, yeah. But I mean, some of it could be forgery and some of it not. I don't know. We haven't really addressed whether this is definitely a forgery or not. Just sort of an assumption. Okay, there's no reason I would make a mistake like that. So why would he make a mistake like that? Oh, because he had the arcane construct do it. Is this where I put the construct in the locker room? Yeah, but it wasn't you, was it? Your arcane construct was the one who planted the rapier in the locker. Correct. I bet you commanded it to place this rapier in the locker of Miriam Frege. But it saw the ID number on Wallace's locker and assumed that it was Miriam's. This is... Redmond was desperately stammering. Miss Steelwind, say something! Oh, I thought you were a big boy who didn't need no defending. What? Mr. Cuthbert, your theory may be plausible, but there's no evidence to support it. Huh, that's right. You don't have any proof, do you? He's looking fabulous. What is that hand gesture? There's no evidence of my orders. Saying that I could have committed the murder isn't the same as proving I did it. Jojo posing. We need more Jojo posing. Yes. Well, I mean, Cuthbert does that, like, that weird pose when he's, taken aback with his arms at weird angles in front of his face or above his head, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that's really a JoJo pose, but let's see. Okay, what again? No evidence of my orders. There could be. I guess I'd use the arcane constructs for this. Command log. Yeah, every command given to a construct is stored in its command log. However, this command log must be cleared regularly. Hopefully it hasn't been cleared yet. I'm thinking it probably hasn't because it's probably... Oh yeah, it's the construct in the locker room. And Steelwind didn't allow anybody else in. So... Excuse me? Some sort of evidence that would track the orders given to... I had arcane construct selected, right? Yeah, that is some bullshit. Is there something else that mentions... Oh, it's the one in the locker room. Yeah, that is some bullshit. Because this is the only thing that directly mentions the command log.
Oh, what the heck. And especially since I just used the Arcane Construct, I didn't expect to use that again. Man, I almost had this perfect. I feel cheated. Your Arcane Construct is still in the locker room where it planted the rapier. All we have to do is take a look inside it, and we'll see the blood inside.
Is that so, Mr. Cuthbert?
What? Why did he still look so confident? No. Mr. Cuthbert, Darn it, Arya! Did she let him in? Oh no, she already checked the inside. Wait, but... Okay, but did they clear the command log? Why are we going about the blood when we should be checking about the command log? I already checked the inside of that construct during my investigation. The interior was completely clean. What?
The construct's primary function is to assist and clean, dear Tyrion. They have a function that allows them to clean themselves inside and out.
That still wouldn't erase the magical traces. Okay, Tyrion, my guy. This feels like some BS. We're going around in circles. We don't need to talk about the blood. And what do you mean it wouldn't erase the magical traces? The whole thing is magic. Please, my guy.
Healing spells may leave traces of necromancy, but so would a healing potion. With no evidence of blood, there could be a myriad of reasons why those traces are there.
Alright. Well, I guess... I don't know, I still feel like that would interfere with checking magic traces. The whole thing being magic and all. But I guess maybe they can still tell that certain types of magic was used on it anyway. Wait, but he said a healing potion would work the same. So healing magic is necromancy. Is a healing potion also necromancy? Like, I just find that interesting. Alright. Well, we can still look at its command history, right? Okay, that's the one we're going for, but now he's probably going to say, oh, I wiped that. Wait, but no, he wouldn't have... Well, unless he did it right afterwards, but... Think about it, Mr. Cuthbert. Do you honestly think that the murderer would leave behind evidence like that? Actually, yes. Yes, I do. He probably didn't erase it yet. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been there when we went to check the storage before. He said there was still something he needed in there. It was probably to wipe the Arcane Construct, and he wasn't able to do that. I'm sure that whoever orchestrated this plot, they ordered the construct to wipe its logs when it was finished. Okay. They could have ordered that. Maybe, I don't know. But it's still worth checking. Because again, Headmaster was still... he went there for some reason. And if by chance it was given a command that it couldn't fulfill, it might still have that set up in its logs. No. That's right, Mr. Cuthbert. Your case against me is theoretical at best. But I suppose I can still give you marks for trying. Thought of everything. Did he really get rid of all the evidence? He's running out of options.
but I still had one option left. Huh. It's unbecoming to glare like that, young Tyrion.
He's doing it again.
I needed to bring myself back to that moment with Garrick Pierce. Everything was at stake for Wallace in this trial. He endured the collective hatred of everyone who didn't understand what he was doing. Yet he stayed true to his ideals, no matter how much it harmed him. Okay, I guess we're going the magic route here, but I don't think we need the magic at this point. I don't know. I mean, before needing to use magic, we still could check the construct. Like, it's not going to hurt anything. There's no reason not to. He studied necromancy, all for the betterment of mankind. His life and his future were in my hands, and I would not see his potential destroyed. Turn into the solution after all. I activated the empowered eye again. Redmond did a good job of covering his tracks. There was no such thing as the perfect crime. There had to be something he forgot to get rid of. Steal one's orders. Why am I thinking of this now? Piece of evidence didn't evoke any useful thoughts from. Okay. Try projecting something related to the construct's actions. There's nothing there for me to use. Construct's actions. Make him... Well, it's not really his actions, but it's in the locker room. Maybe if I make him think about it. Why was the construct in the locker room? I think that was it. No, he's... It must... Yeah. It must have been given an order that it couldn't fulfill. Shouldn't have been there if it had followed my orders. No matter. It wiped its logs. That's all that matters. No, it wouldn't have. They have nothing. So he did order it to wipe its logs. In order to cover all of its tracks, it probably would have done this last. Okay, so then... Construct's logic limitation. The Construct's orders were clear. Plant the body in Lecture Hall 2B, and then plant the evidence in Frega's locker. It was supposed to head to the storage room afterward. What happened? Oh wait, no, the locker room is different than the storage room. Interesting. The construct wasn't supposed to be in the locker room. Wait, he ordered the construct to go to the storage room? It should have done that after it was finished planting evidence in the locker room. But we found it in the locker room. What stopped the construct from leaving the locker room? Oh! The lockdown. It was stuck in there during the lockdown. Right. The body was probably reported earlier than Redmond expected. That meant he probably started the lockdown while the construct was still in the locker room. The lockdown affects the construct's actions. But does this change anything? Maybe. Well, it planted the evidence. It couldn't leave. Oh, here we go. Redmond's series of commands was interrupted by the lockdown. Right. The series of commands would have been interrupted. Wait a minute.
Constructs execute a series of commands in the order that they are given. But let's say that one of those tasks is impossible to complete. When the construct gets to that task, it will deem the entire series impossible to complete. As a result, it will stop executing the series altogether. So if a task in a series of commands is impossible, then that command will interrupt the entire series. If Redmond was trying to cover his tracks, the construct's final command would be to wipe its memory. But if its orders were interrupted by the lockdown, then... Miss Steelwind, I have nothing more to ask this witness. What?
Maybe... okay.
You're not giving up, are you? Yeah, I thought so. But how are you going to prove it? Prove he did it if he's not on the stand?
Don't worry. The next witness's testimony will be all I need.
Next witness? That look on your face isn't one of resignation.
Huh. It's nothing but desperate bravado. Now, if you'll excuse me...
You've let him get away, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you know what you're doing.
I do, Steelwind. First, I'd like for the Inquisition to bring in the Arcane construct in the Academy's locker room.
We've already established that the murderer could have wiped its history.
Please, just humor me for a second.
Fine. Bailiff, please relay Mr. Cuthbert's request to Commander White.
Feels weird having an arcane construct on the stand.
Well, here's your construct. I hope you know what you're doing, Mr. Cuthbert.
Construct. What are your orders? Please recite your command history. Reporting. Command 1. Stand by in Headmaster's office. Command 2. Await vocal signal. Attack from Theodore Redmond. Redmond stood up from the gallery, his face turning from confusion into terrified realization. Steelwind watched him carefully, clutching the handle of her cane. Command 3. Treat Catherine Bellwether as a hostile entity and neutralize. Construct, wipe your... How? Before he could finish his order, the prosecutor whipped out her cane and pointed it square at the headmaster. The headmaster tensed as his body tightened and he fell over, restrained by magical energy. He struggled against the spell to no avail. He could only watch through gritted teeth as the construct continued. Miss Steelwind?
Excuse the interruption. Please continue.
Command 4. Await vocal signal leave from Theodore Redmond. Command 5. Move to classroom 2B. Reply to any inquiries with voice line number 3. Command 6. Remove Catherine Bellwether from interior frame and place on floor. Thank you, Construct. You can stop now. I think we all know the rest. But just to be clear, who gave you this series of commands? Commands were provided by Headmaster Theodore Redmond. How? How? I ordered the construct to wipe its command history. Redmond, constructs don't follow the same logic that humans do. They're prone to error when their commands are impossible to execute. Impossible? How were my commands impossible? You were the one that made it impossible. You activated the lockdown system. A lockdown? I imagine you never expected anyone to go to Lecture Hall 2B. But the Annis twins discovered the body earlier than you expected. You had no choice but to immediately activate the lockdown system when it was reported. It would have been suspicious otherwise. However, the construct was still in the locker room when you did this. So that's why it was there. The construct finished its tasks in the locker room, but then it tried to follow your next command. It attempted to move to the storage room, but was prevented from doing so. Completion of that command was impossible, so the series of commands was stopped before it wiped its history. No. Theodore Redmond, you ordered your construct to murder Catherine Bellwether. Then you had it place the murder weapon in a locker to frame Miriam Frege. And we have your construct's testimony to prove it. That's your last move, Redmond. That's checkmate. Dang, this goes so hard.
I can't believe it. How could you do something like this, Headmaster?
Is going to take everything from me. My position, my academy, my students. Everything would be gone. It was going to be stolen by her and the Fregas.
Why didn't you say anything? I could have...
Don't you dare stand there and act ignorant, Lady Steelwind. Do you think the Fregas acted alone? The Grand General is also on the school board, and he endorsed this plan just as much as they did.
What?
I have nothing to say to you. I thought you were different. I listened to you and the Prince's lies about societal reform. In the end, you were just like the rest of them. By the Scaled Lord, what have I done? I was even willing to sacrifice poor Wallace. Why did I ever listen to... Why did I do this? It appears we have a full confession. The court sees no reason to prolong this any further. Bailiff, please escort the witness to a holding cell.
Mr. Cuthbert, you really did it. Feels amazing, right? Like a big weight being lifted from your shoulders. It does. But Headmaster Redmond, what am I going to do now? Headmaster Redmond was the only reason I could even attend the academy. If the school board replaces him with someone like Bellwether... Come on, don't think like that. You've been acquitted. You still have your freedom.
I wanted to agree, but the study of necromancy was outlawed. Without Redmond's support, there weren't many places he could learn it. And then there was the staff at the Imperial Academy.
Hey, not you too.
Sorry, but Valentina, Valerie, and Jan, they're all going to lose their jobs.
Come on. You found the truth and you put a murderer behind bars. You saved Wallace.
He's right. As we exited the courtroom, we were greeted by Miss Timora.
At the end of the day, you saved Wallace from a wrongful conviction. You did what you set out to do. You should be proud of yourself for that.
I just wish I could do more.
Nope, none of that. I'm taking all of us to that restaurant we went to last time.
Do you remember how much that place cost?
Don't worry, I have plenty of gold.
Am I the only one on this team not making any money?
Why don't you meet us there, Celeste? I need to talk with Tyrion for a moment. Alright. Let's go, Wallace.
Okay.
You used that ability again, didn't you? She didn't appear to be praising me.
I did. I didn't really have a choice. My guy, you could have reasoned that out. You did not need the magic. Yeah, it was the solution after all. I wonder if this is supposed to be like he is overusing it when he doesn't need to be. He's using it as a crutch.
The Eye of Horus is a powerful tool, Tyrion. But that's twice now that you've used that ability to get out of a tough spot. You can't keep relying on it if you want to grow.
Yeah.
One day you'll find a witness that it won't work on.
Worked for me this far, though. No. Shut. Listen to her. Yeah. But I suppose you're right. I'll try to rely on it less next time. And that marked the end of another case in my career as a defense attorney. Another life saved and another murderer brought to justice. But at what cost?
But I still couldn't shake this feeling of uneasiness.
Was it guilt for what would happen to the faculty staff? Or was it something else?
Can't believe it. It was really Theodore the entire time?
We talk about something else. Thinking about all that is really bumming me out.
I hope I'm not interrupting. Oh, great. What do you want?
Even if Red was infinitely more sympathetic, and Pierce was kind of acting not only selfish motives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just their difference in character that makes one more likable than the other. Well, but also Redmond might have been a little bit mind controlled. Although, I don't know, what if Pierce was also a little bit mind controlled? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like Pierce was mind controlled. But yeah, he was trying to have trying to not have the whole region die, and McCoy is not listening to reason. Yeah. Yeah, so what Pierce did was sort of understandable, but also, again, not good, and I don't like Pierce to begin with. But yeah, Redmond, I guess, I don't know, he seemed a little possessive there at the end. Like, my school, my students, yada yada. But I think he did it out of care for his students and everything, and employees, more than just selfish taking my stuff kind of thing. So, yeah. And then, like I said, with the possible, at least somewhat mind control, I think it was a little bit of mind control because he didn't question where those whispers were coming from. So something was messing with his thoughts. Uh, So it's like, Pierce probably would have done what he did anyway, but Redmond might not have. I don't know if his thoughts on Arya were influenced by that mind control at all. Otherwise, maybe he would have gone to her for help or something. But yeah, why did I listen to before he got cut off? Yeah. Alright, so what's Arya doing here?
I've always tried to act with more compassion than my fellow aristocrats, but I suppose I'm still blind to the privilege I was born with. I am truly sorry if my words during the trial were insensitive to your circumstances. I've been speaking with the students here. There's quite a bit of outrage about your firing. Wait, really? The idea of a machine doing your job doesn't seem to sit well with the student body. While not everyone was as sympathetic as I'd hoped, most everyone agrees that your leaving would be a tremendous loss. I've spoken with the head of the student council. We believe that we can convince the school board to keep you on staff. You can do that? But is that what you want, Valentina? I don't see the working conditions here improving without Redmond as headmaster. Well, we've got to make a living somehow. There's actually a merchant out in Oranax who takes an interest in people like you and your sister. He's recently purchased a condemned building in the city, and he's looking to turn it into a restaurant. I remember how delicious your meals were when I was a student here. I'm certain he would hire you if I asked. Really? Would you be interested in that? It's a bit of a gamble, but your employment wouldn't be left to the whims of the nobility. Of course. Good. I'll contact him later today. You'll probably be hearing from him soon. He's not so bad for a noble. I don't know if I buy it. You've heard about what her dad's been doing, haven't you? Don't be so pessimistic. He seems nice.
I'm kind of with Valentino on this one. Something's always been up with the Steelwinds. You remember that scandal all those years ago?
No, actually. What happened?
Right. You two were probably just kids when it all went down, but it was big news at the time. That girl's mom went on a rampage and massacred a village full of farmers, children included.
Oh, the mom. Huh.
Scaled Lord.
Lucio Steelwind's violent streak didn't start with these rebellions. I think they had a bad marriage or something. He couldn't wait to get rid of her. After what she did, he personally prosecuted her and demanded a death sentence.
Oh.
He even carried out the execution himself.
Oh.
He really is a monster, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd trust anyone raised by a guy like that.
See, there's always something up with the aristocrats.
I mean, I can understand taking a wait-and-see approach, but you don't need to talk so badly about her. My goodness. It's like, oh yeah, her parents did bad stuff, so she must be horrible as well. And yet you still took her offer? Like, bruh. Maybe wait and see, and don't just jump to conclusions.
far as I'm concerned, I'm not getting my hopes up until I hear from this merchant from Aranax. But hey, if I do get that restaurant, we'll need someone to help us keep it clean. You interested, Jan?
Cleaning one small restaurant instead of an entire school? I'm falling asleep just thinking about it.
Okay, just make sure you still do your job, okay?
Oh, was she listening to that? Ooh. Man, Steelwind's been keeping the old-timer here for hours. What's there to even ask at this point? Turns out she doesn't trust his testimony. Something about his memories not matching up with the crime scene. I mean, he is pretty old. Yeah, well, she found that damn symbol etched into his desk. Or what did she call it? The purple mark?
Oh, for the love of... not this again.
Look, if the little lady wants to chase the boogeyman, just let her. At least this time, she's doing it personally instead of dragging us into it.
Past sleep.
Oh no. Eris, why? Hey, what's up with... Wait a minute. I remember it now. But how?
That was close. My elation over meeting him almost made me forget.
Eris, what are you doing here? Why? Wait. It was you. You put those ideas into my mind. You're the one who told me to murder Bellwether.
Oh, you people never fail to amuse me. I didn't make you do anything. Everything you did that day, all the planning, all the preparation, it came from your own mind. And I have to say, I was quite entertained with the scheme you came up with. You even broke into Lady Frega's room. I never thought you were capable of such things, young Theodore. Such a shame, though. I wished I could have gotten Wallace to play the villain instead of you. Could you imagine if he turned? Armies of the undead running rampant in the streets. It would have been spectacular.
Oh my.
But alas, even I couldn't corrupt him. He falters in every other situation, but when it comes to necromancy, his will is adamantine.
Answer me. Who are you? What are you?
Who am I? I'm the ruler of the Sixth Circle, the Lord of Shadows.
Ah! Oh boy.
Who am I? I'm the Edgelord.
Poor Redmond, yeah. I take it he's been silenced now. Ray Cuthbert. Oh? I don't know if that's a guy's name or a girl's name.
I'm sorry, Tyrion. There was so much that I wanted to tell you. So much that I wanted to show you.
In case 3. Oh yeah, I should update my stream title. Yeah. What should I call this? The plot thickens. There we go. Case 2's fine. Case 1 was more emotional. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I feel like case 2, I don't know. I'm not sure if I just was more used to it or whatever, but like I called some of the stuff way ahead of when it was actually used. I don't know. It feels like the case sort of got stretched out a little bit. So it wasn't bad, but I don't know. I guess it could have been more succinct, maybe. Like I feel like 1 was about perfect. Wasn't too long. Hit just the right notes. 2 was just okay. And it's like Eris, uh yeah, one of the things with Eris, it's like they were trying to make her mysterious, but at the same time, you know from pretty much the beginning she's evil. And probably the mastermind. Or at least something close to. So, I don't know. I don't if they wanted to make her more mysterious, I feel like maybe they just cut out some of those glitchy parts and maybe show them as like a flashback at the end or something. Like what actually happened. Uh, yeah, I feel like she could have been more mysterious. I feel like that would have a better impact. Like just have her seem like a regular person until the end. Well, a regular person who just is a little suspicious, maybe because of being in just the right spots at the right times to ask certain questions, but like nothing concrete. It's like without the glitchy parts, she's a little sus, but there's not really anything to go on. It's intentional the way they're portraying her as obviously the villain. And I mean, if they go with that, obviously the villain, well, yeah, I mean, she's got to be the villain. They can't really turn this around. So it feels like a bit of wasted potential. I don't mind it too much. It just, yeah, it just sort of stands out to me as a bit of wasted potential. But maybe it'll make more sense later. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for not making her more mysterious. We'll see. Alright. So much more that I wanted to tell you. So much that I wanted to show you. I'm afraid I was never meant to walk this path with you. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But don't let it extinguish the flickering flame I can see within you. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate, just as I once did. Use it to build your own path to happiness. Case 3, The Origins of Horus. Alright. Actually, before I get into Case 3 proper, I want to take a short break here and use the bathroom. I'll be right back in just a bit. Alright, I have returned. Okay. Preposterous. Completely and utterly preposterous. Oh. Okay. Oh. Is something wrong, Von Sanctus?
You filthy rat! You cheated, didn't you?
Why are we talking with Lloyd Von Sanctus all of a sudden? Why is there a Duke in front of me?
That's it, isn't it? You're just a cheat. A cheat and a charlatan.
Head of the kingdom's commerce and international trade. Met children who play chess better than him. Oh, are we having a chess match? Do you have any evidence to prove that claim?
I mastered chess before you could crawl out of whatever rat hole you were born in. Do you honestly expect anyone to believe that you could defeat me?
Honestly, I'm just as disappointed as you are. When you want to have a match against the Duke of Commerce in the Commonwealth? Oh, I forgot about that. Huh. I expected more from a Duke, but I guess all the gold in the world can't buy you a modicum of skill. Dang.
You little upstart.
Von Sanctus's attendant silently tilted his head toward the spectators of the tournament. The crowd had fallen silent, save for a few aristocrats who were muttering among themselves. Some were even chuckling at the spectacle. Absolutely preposterous. He repeated it like a prayer as he stomped away from the tournament grounds. So, that was something. Did you have to be such a sore winner? Come on, that was hilarious. Oh yeah. Aggravating one of the dukes of the kingdom is hilarious. Embarrassing nobles like him is half of the fun of these tournaments. Where's this confidence when you're in the courtroom? Tyrion's just that much of a sore winner. Dang. He better hold on to Celeste, because I don't think he's getting another girl. Steelwind is far less of a pushover.
I wonder if she plays chess.
Now there was an interesting thought.
I'm going to challenge her next time we go out.
You two have really been spending a lot of time together lately.
What? Are you jealous?
I just never expected you to get along so well with a noble.
I mean, you've talked to her. She's not like most of those stuck-up heiresses. She really takes her job seriously. Maybe even more than you do.
And just be careful around her. You've seen what the papers have been saying about her father. Tyrion, please.
Hey, he's nothing like her father. Don't say things like that when she's around.
Yeah, you're a bit out of line there, Tyrion.
Does he ever come up when you talk to each other? Nope. And you better not bring him up the next time we see her.
She seemed oddly protective of the prosecutor. It was probably fine. Despite our differences, Steelwind was oddly fair when we were in the courtroom. Celeste spent most of her time protecting me, so I was glad she had someone she could spend her days off with.
Anyways, we should celebrate. He was a pushover, but you just beat a duke.
Do you want to head to that restaurant in Rathome?
What are you talking about? There are plenty of places here we haven't tried before.
I only returned to Aranax for the chance to finally defeat the head of a pillar family. I really wanted to leave, especially before anyone in town recognized me.
Do you remember that cafe we passed on the way to the tournament grounds? We should grab some lunch there.
I wanted to object, but she had this way of making it impossible to say no to her. Alright, I guess there's no harm in staying a little longer. We traced our steps back to the cafe. I looked at the sign hanging above it. Dark roasts and light magic. As we entered, we were struck by the powerful aroma of freshly baked pastries and coffee. The scent of bread and butter swirled around me, slowly washing away my reluctance to come here. Darn it, he's gonna make me hungry. Oh, what's this?
So, you dare to enter the domain of the Alabaster Siren.
Whether you were seeking glory or oblivion, it's found you all the same. Oh.
You stand before Masorica Tudor, the Ashen Lord of Aranax.
Okay. Arcane Art Evocation, Merchant, age 19. My childhood friend appeared before us, her posture firm and over the top as always. Oh, okay, just suddenly childhood friend? Masorica was much older than when I'd last seen her, but I could recognize that theatrical cadence anywhere. She clearly hadn't lost her flair for the dramatic. Her cloak somehow billowed with every exaggerated pose she snapped to. Oh yeah. We've met a new JoJo poser. Yeah, this is JoJo posing. My dramatic childhood friend. She's a commoner who was born a mage. Through Dracogen's patronage, she was able to open up her own restaurant like she'd always dreamed about. I should have done more to keep in contact with her after I left.
I'll have you know that my confections are not for the faint of...
She froze up. She recognized me immediately.
Tyrion?
I winced as I rubbed the back of my neck. Hi, Rika.
I knew it. It is you.
The pout. Help, she's too powerful. She's JoJo posing and pouting. Imagine if she does them both at the same time.
You have any idea how worried we've all been? Do you two know each other?
Right, sorry. Somebody's jelly. Masorica, this is my bodyguard, Celeste. Celeste, this is Masorica. We kind of grew up together. He's actually a commoner mage like you.
You used to live here? But you were in such a rush to leave. You came here to eat, right? Let me bring you some of our best dishes on the house.
No, we couldn't possibly.
Don't be like that. It's been years since I've seen you, and you know how good my cooking is.
Okay, but only for a little bit. Also, a bit of warning. Celeste is kind of a glutton. Her stomach is basically bottomless.
Hey. Oh, I'll accept that challenge.
I'm surprised he didn't get a punch to the gut. Rika set a table for the three of us before calling over a waiter. I ordered the Eggs Benedict, and Rika ordered the French toast. Celeste ordered the omelette, ham skillet, shaved steak, breakfast wrap, a stack of pancakes, a stack of waffles, a chocolate crepe, and the avocado toast because she wanted something light. Classic. Did she also get a Diet Coke? I'm so sorry, Rika. I'll pay for her food.
Aha! This is nothing. My cafe has dealt with far greater foes than this. Can I also get the eggs Benedict and the French toast? Their food smells great.
I'll pay for her.
Thank you.
Are you sure with that? Everyone must see my badge. Here, Prinker, did you see this? I got this attorney's runestone. It means I'm an attorney.
A gem with strange carvings. Is it cursed?
It's an attorney's runestone. It proves that I'm a certified attorney. It's fitted with artificery. You can use it to take pictures of evidence in crime scenes.
I want one.
You have to be an attorney to receive one.
Tyrion, people use runestones for things other than practicing law.
Detect magic, because why not?
Arcane 'em.
You know, I almost thought that would do something funny, like show it being used in the kitchen. Now I'm a little disappointed. This table looks really well made.
You like it? I commissioned a local carpenter to have my tables custom made. It was probably worth it. They fit with the rustic vibe you got going on here.
There was a shelf full of drinks, mugs, and sugar behind the restaurant counter. It must have been where Rika's employees prepared coffee to be served. Oh, plant. Rika seemed to have decorated the entire cafe with several plants and flowers. The green added a fresh and earthy look to the restaurant. Alright. Talk about Celeste.
Your bodyguard really eats a lot.
Celeste looked up from her plate, making eye contact with the two of us. She paused for a moment before going back to her meals. Meals, plural. She's really good at her job. She must have been burning all those calories somehow.
I heard you've been fighting the nobility. Is that why you need her?
You know about that?
The papers won't stop talking about you. I couldn't believe it when I saw your picture in the Arnax Post after all these years.
I'm sorry.
I'm just glad you're safe, Tyrion.
Talk about Tyrion.
Look at you. I never expected the light-sworn monarch to start wearing a suit.
The light-sworn monarch? And Celeste caught it. Rip Tyrion. He's never gonna live this down.
What's this light-sworn monarch I keep hearing about?
It's something I used to call myself when I was a kid.
Wait, really? That's adorable. It pales in comparison to the Ashen Lord of Arnax. But just as I'd expect from my apprentice, you're practically famous now. Not even the headmaster of the Imperial Academy could stand against you.
I winced at being reminded about Redmond. I still didn't feel great about what happened.
What's wrong?
Theodore Redmond wasn't a bad person.
He just made a really terrible mistake. I'm not happy about indicting him.
Oh.
Oof. Rika's Cafe. Are you the owner of this cafe, Rika? You always dreamed of opening one up when we were kids.
The source of my strength is the everlasting financial support of the Dracogen Trading Company. Its owner was rendered powerless when he tried confections. He had no choice but to fund my warpath.
Dracogen Trading Company? I don't think I've heard of them.
They're pretty small. They're only operating in Arnax right now. But I hear they're planning to expand their operations throughout Wyverngard.
I'm surprised the Duke of Commerce is letting that slide.
Isn't he the guy you beat in the chess tournament this morning? Wait, that was you?
House von Sanctus is one of the four pillar families. They manage mercantile operations throughout Wyverngard.
So House Steelwind controls the military, and House von Sanctus controls the businesses.
House Frege controls the banking houses and the exchange of currency. And House Sybil controls the judicial and legislative branches of our kingdom. Right. Arnex City. Is it just me, or does the city look a lot cleaner than before?
Oh, right. You left before all those new merchants appeared.
New merchants? Did they come from a merchant's guild?
Not exactly. The Dracogen Trading Company was one of the first merchants that came. They bought some of the Arcane manufactories a few years ago. They transformed it into the heart of artificery production within Arnax. Other merchants felt the way of the wind and followed them here.
Being based in a port city would definitely give them an edge. And Aranax is one of the few trading hubs that send and receive exports from the other kingdoms. I just looked at her, surprised. Hey, I'm a businesswoman. I know about economics. You do? You're a mercenary.
Their presence lit a flame in the city's economy. They aren't owned by the nobility, and they pay their employees a lot more than Von Sanctus does. It's really opened a lot more opportunities for the people here.
I doubt the Duke appreciates the competition, though.
They're even talking about forming employee-run unions.
Oh, the Duke definitely won't appreciate that. Chess tournament.
So, you still play chess?
Yeah, I'm nationally ranked, too.
I heard that some upstart commoner defeated Von Sanctus at a tournament this morning. I should have known it was the Lightsworn Monarch.
Upstart commoner?
Lightsworn Monarch? Hey, do you still do that thing when you play?
No.
What thing?
Nothing. She's not talking about anything.
Wait, you're actually embarrassed about it? When we were kids, you did it even more than I did.
What? What did he used to do?
Why don't you show her, Tyrion?
I refuse.
Come on, show us, Tyrion.
The thing. I think I'm a little too old for this.
I'm insulted that you think age has anything to do with it. You need to feed it, Tyrion, lest your radiant light be smothered into a flickering ember. Do it, Tyrion. Yeah, do it, Tyrion.
The two of them began chanting, drawing the attention of the other patrons in the cafe.
I took in a deep breath. Those who stand in the shadows, those who fear the light of divinity. Your Imperials will fall, and your armies will perish. Kneel and cower before the divine gaze of the Eye of Horus. I am Tyrion Cuthbert, Emperor of Light, and the sworn enemy of darkness itself. Rip. It'd be really funny if Celeste, like, took his arcane runestone and, or attorney's runestone and took a video of that. They were trying really hard to contain their laughter. Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. No, that was great. It was really cool, Tyrion. Her poorly contained laughs puffed out between each word. Why are you laughing? Or wait, no, this is Tyrion. And why are you laughing? You were just doing it a moment ago. Yeah, but she owns it. You used to say something else. What was it? Oh yeah. It doesn't matter who stands in my way. Man, king, or god? Yeah, that's it. He still says that sometimes. Well, it's been nice catching up with you, Rika. I think it's time for us to get going. What? But we just got here. I'll let you go this time, light-sworn monarch. But by partaking of the food within my realm, you've fallen under its curse. Curse? You are now bound to my domain for eternity. But I'm a benevolent lord. Your only charge as my servant is to write to me at least once a fortnight. How long is a fortnight again? 2 weeks. I'll stay in touch, Rika. You'd better. Don't just disappear like last time. We left the cafe and made our way to the local merchants guild to rent a carriage. The city streets seemed a bit more crowded than before. There must have been some kind of event going on. Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? She fidgeted with her hands and seemed unable to make eye contact with me. She looked like she wanted to say something, but she couldn't find the right words. Never mind, it's nothing. Okay. We made our way to the Merchants Guild in silence. With each step, we found the streets becoming more and more crowded. I really hoped that this traffic wouldn't interfere with the ride home. Hi, could we rent a carriage for travel to Rathome? Sorry, but travel outside of the city is temporarily closed. What? Why? Haven't you heard? Steelwind's soldiers have locked down the city. They set up a blockade and everything. A chill ran up my spine. What are you talking about? Check the city gates if you don't believe me. We arrived at the city gates. Like the man had said, there was a division of knights blockading the exit to the city. There was an entire legion of them. Their flags bore the colors of the Kingsguard. What are they doing here? The Kingsguard was a military force that responded to matters of national importance. They worked directly under Grand General Steelwind. The townsfolk kept their distance, but several aristocrats were making their objections known. This is outrageous. How long do you plan to keep us here? Sorry, but we have our orders. We can't let anyone outside of the city until our investigation is complete. An investigation? We should keep our distance. I wouldn't want to... Oh, screw that. Before I knew what was going on, Celeste marched toward the knight stationed there. Wait, Celeste!
At least tell us what's going on. Why is the entire city being blockaded?
Sorry, ma'am. We're not allowed to release that information. You'll just have to make other arrangements while we sort this out. Actually, I haven't seen you two around before. I'll need to take down your names and occupations for our records.
What? Why?
It's fine, Celeste. We're better off just cooperating with them. We needed to avoid any kind of conflict with them. I'm Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm a defense attorney.
Fine. I'm Celeste McCoy, bodyguard.
Oh. He suddenly recognized us. Our reputation did more harm than good most of the time. I looked over to the other knights. They seemed to be taking notes of the people here too. They seemed to be compiling a list of everyone inside the city. But for what? Oh, okay. Kingsguard blockade. Yeah, it prevented anyone from traveling in and out of RNX. Seemed to be making note of everyone in the city. I have an important engagement tomorrow. What am I supposed to do now?
This can't possibly be legal. The Minister of Justice will be hearing of this.
The nobles continued shouting at the knights. It was clear they wouldn't be budging anytime soon. As soon as the knights were finished speaking to us, I quickly backed away. Celeste followed closely behind me.
Tyrion, wait!
She said that, but it took very little effort for her to keep pace with me. My breathing was getting faster, and my head was aching. Scaled Lord, it's happening here.
What?
It's exactly what's been happening in the countryside. Lucio Steelwind sent his men to keep the peace here.
Oh, that's why you're so freaked out.
How are you so calm right now?
I'd probably win if they tried to attack us.
Well, I'm not some super warrior who can fight a legion of knights by myself.
Tyrion, relax. They said they're just investigating something. There are no riots going on here, and we're in the heart of the Duke of Commerce's territory. Do you seriously think Von Sanctus would let another Pillar family march onto his land and kill his people?
He had a point, but this uneasiness wasn't going away.
It'll be fine. Let's just find a place to stay the night and wait for all of this to blow over.
We walked to a nearby tavern and found it absolutely crowded with patrons. Hey, wait a minute. This tavern looks familiar.
Everyone else had the same idea.
Hey, wait a minute. This innkeeper looks familiar. Do you possibly have two jobs? Hey, welcome to the Agewind Tavern. What can I do for you? Small indie game. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I don't hold it against them or anything, but I just find it funny. Could we get 2 rooms for the night? Sorry, we're fully booked with the blockade and all.
Wait, let me take care of this.
Celeste took out a large pouch of gold and dropped it on the innkeeper's desk. Well, would you look at that? One of our rooms just opened up. Only one? The entire city's locked down. Even with this gratuity, that's the best I can do for you.
What? Embarrassed to share a room with me, Tyrion?
No, I briefly glanced at the innkeeper. He chuckled at my reaction. Fine, let's just go. Help! Her riz is too strong. We walked into the room they had prepared for us. There was one bed. So, how should we...
Oh, I was just kidding before. You can have the bed. I'll just sleep on the floor.
What? I can't just let you...
Please. We're both commoners, but you live a cushy life in the city. I'm a mercenary. I've lived on the road for years. I've slept like this plenty of times.
I couldn't argue against that, but I still felt uneasy. Alright, just let me know if you change your mind.
Yeah.
I let myself fall onto the bed. Celeste started checking the room for anything suspicious. I tried to relax, but Lucio Steelwind was in my hometown. I just took deep breaths. Celeste was right. The Grand General wasn't insane enough to try anything in the heart of Lloyd von Sanctus's territory. I really hoped that was true. Huh?
We had an arrangement. What are you doing?
I don't know. I guess I'm going back to do my actual job.
You little rat. Do you think you can get away with crossing me? You've already come this far. You're far from blameless. Now get back in that office and activate the device.
I thought you wanted me to rob the place. What's so special about this thing? And why the office? How about I activate it right now?
Do not do that.
I knew it. There's been something more to these jobs, ain't it? This ain't just robbery. You're using me for something else. As if you ever cared. I know about your debts. You need me. You know what? I'm done with this. I quit. What do you think this is? Morale. What is a morale? You got cotton in your ears or something? I said I quit. Consider this my resignation. Wait! Stop! What? Ah! I don't know who's screaming. Somebody happened to the guy that was trying to hire the other guy, or I'll just call them a mercenary and employer for now. Something happened to the mercenary, or something happened to the employer? Or a third person? It could be a third person, I don't know.
Damn it all. Violetta, get out of there now.
Oh. Okay, maybe the cat? Well, I assume it's a cat. The animal? Okay, so this might be the employer talking to the animal. As the night went on, I found myself falling into a terrible nightmare. How long had I been walking through this forest? It had probably been days at this point. I was getting tired. But I had to get to Rathome. I had to find Miss Timora again. I needed to find her. I needed her to teach me. I needed revenge. I really needed some food. I'd already gone through all the dried fish that I'd packed for the journey. The compass told me that I was still heading west, but I didn't realize how long it would take to get to Rathome on foot. I suddenly heard the sound of a distant carriage coming from behind me. It wasn't long before the cart passed by me. The carriage driver glanced at me before doing a double take and yanking at the reins. It's that guy, I guess. Hey, what are you doing all the way out here? I said nothing. I just stared blankly at him. Are you okay? Where are your parents? They're gone. Okay, age 10. Wait, it has occupation as defense attorney at age 10? Yeah. The man scratched his head and scanned the surrounding forest. I need to get to Rathhome. I need to go to Rathhome. I need to find Ruby Tymora. Wait, that criminal lawyer? She's my family's lawyer. Oh, I'm gonna be passing by Rathhome. You should probably come with me. We can get you to the City Watch. They'll probably know how to help a kid like you. I wasn't interested in meeting more knights, but at this rate I was going to starve. Without a word, I climbed into the back of his carriage. It looks like he's half dead. I was startled awake. My face was covered in sweat. It took me a while before I realized it had just been a nightmare. I rubbed my eyes. There were dried tears crusted into them. Damn it all. It had been a long time since I'd stopped having those nightmares. Being in this city was digging up memories that I'd moved on from. All the more reason to leave as soon as possible. Celeste, are you up? Huh? Oh! You let her hair down. It's all over the place. Yeah, new sprite. She'd been wistfully staring outside the tavern window, but her body twitched the moment I called out to her. Are you okay? Yeah, that was pretty cute. Yeah, you just startled me. He wasn't awake, was he? Oh? Celeste, what were you doing? There was clearly something else, but she didn't seem keen on sharing. Do you know if the city is still on lockdown? I haven't checked yet. I was waiting for you. We arrived at the city gates. It was still being blocked by the Kingsguard. If anything, it looked like they doubled the number of knights there. I really didn't like where this was going. Do you want to head to the cafe again? Yeah, we'll just have to wait this out. And just as we turned around, we saw Rika running toward us from a block away. Tyrion! She broke out into a sprint, nearly tripping over as she slipped on the wet city streets. She looked exhausted and her clothes were drenched. She'd been out in the rain for a while. Tyrion, it's terrible. There was an accident at the Arcane refinery last night. One of my friends who worked there, he fell into a vat of chemicals. Oh. Was that not the cat? I doubt it was the employer. Or, well, I thought it was a cat, but the animal. I thought it was the employer talking to the animal afterwards, so... Did the supposed mercenary? Or thief, whatever, fall in? Uh-oh. He's dead. Oh, Rika. I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do... The Duke is blaming the Dracogen Trading Company. He's trying to charge the owner with criminal negligence. Oh boy. As the lord of this region, it was House Von Sanctus's ability to carry out the law. But the Duke was obviously just taking this opportunity to attack one of his rivals. Tyrion, you're a famous lawyer, right?
Can you help them?
I don't think I can.
What? But
Rika, I specialize in homicides, and most of my clients are mages who've been charged with murder. There isn't any magic involved in what happened. There isn't even a killer.
that's not true. I saw it happen.
Oh. Surprised it isn't Rika being arrested for murder? Honestly, that's what I thought was going to happen, yeah, as well. I thought we'd have to defend her. But it does affect her because that trading company is how she gets all her funds, so... has something to do with her, at least.
I didn't see who did it, but I saw someone cast a spell at him. It pushed him into the vat.
What? How sure are you of this?
I don't know. It all happened really fast.
I took a deep breath. Even she didn't seem that sure of what she saw. Do you know what kind of spell it was?
I don't know, but it was powerful enough to break everything around it.
That definitely sounded too distinct. She must have seen something. Well, maybe it had something to do with the device? Okay, I'll head to the refinery and see what I can do.
Really?
But don't get your hopes up. I don't have a lot of information to work with.
That's fine. I'll let Dracogen know that you're on your way.
This week was just getting worse by the minute. Alright. Cool. I don't know, I probably won't go too much longer if I keep going. So, I don't know if this would be a good place to stop, or if I should keep going for a little bit yet. Any thoughts? This would be a better stopping place, or if keep going a little bit? Don't remember how much this first investigation takes part takes. Don't think as much. Oh yeah, but so if I keep going a little bit, I'd probably stop when the first trial happens. I assume. So you're saying it'd be better to stop there at the beginning of the first trial? Or should I save the investigation? What do you think? Maybe it's better to do both in the same stream? Alright, yeah, I was sort of thinking that. I mean, I can keep things fairly well organized between streams, but I imagine for the people watching, it's probably better to have all the info in one stream. Yeah. Alright, well then I'll probably stop here for today, I guess. I did just save. Alright. Yeah, but besides, my voice, or my throat's feeling a little scratchy. Probably worse off this week because of allergy meds and everything. I guess I was still taking them last week, but I don't know. Still getting settled in with that. Anyway. We got case 2 done. Pretty good stuff. I wonder if Eris has any part in this. It doesn't really seem like it so far. Like, seems to be somebody's planting devices, and then they had a disagreement. I mean, Eris could still be the mastermind. But yeah. I guess I've pretty much gone over my thoughts on stuff. So let's see. We will continue this. I will plan to continue this next Sunday. In the meantime, if anybody's interested in social medias, there's links for Twitter, Discord, Blue Sky, and YouTube here in the chat. You can always find those links in the About section of my Twitch or underneath the socials banner. And for anybody watching the VOD on YouTube, if you're ever interested in watching live, there will be a link in the video description to my Twitch. About trails, just got into the start of the first quest on day 4 of the festival. Always start the quest, talk to the parents, not watching there. Okay, yeah. But if you're hesitating on getting back to that, I would say definitely get on that, because you stopped a pretty good part. Yeah, I won't say anything about it, just it's a good part. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I stopped at the beginning of day 5. So you'll overtake me again once you start anything on day 5. Playing this week. Tomorrow will be Honkai 3rd. Friday will be Trails from Zero. Tuesday, Thursday... I was thinking of starting a new game, but then I remembered Chaos Zero Nightmare has a new season coming out this week. I'm not sure, I might do that. And since I canceled my stream last time, I still have some in-between season stuff to do. I don't think the new season comes out until at least Thursday, so I might do that Thursday. Maybe I'll do the in-between season stuff on Tuesday. Yeah, I keep forgetting the schedule. I gotta get back on that. Keep posting the schedule once it's like halfway into the week. But yeah, so it might just be more Chaos Zero Nightmare here this week. I do have an upcoming sort of collab-y thingy planned. So I know I mentioned it like months ago, doing a Dark Souls 2 playthrough with Nostalgia Trips Mediyoshi. So that should be coming up in the next few weeks. I'm not sure when exactly. He has his own schedule and everything, so I'm just gonna sort of merge with whatever he does. So I'm not sure when exactly that's gonna be, but that should be coming soon. And then the schedule is probably gonna get changed up because of that. So just some forewarning there. Alright. Well, I think that's everything then. So, thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, wherever you are. Great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you around. Bye-bye.